what we do here is go back, 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 back.
over there. Let me have that. Alrighty guys, so it's been a few days since I picked up the camera. I've been running around for the last couple of days like a headless chicken, just doing everything that needed to get done, such as all of the custom hood orders that I do sell for the EF sedans, the wagons, and also CRX and hatchbacks. So I do sell those SIR style hoods for the USDM front ends, and I also sell the JDM version for the CRX and the hatchback. So I went to Mexico over the weekend, picked all those up along with a new wing that we decided to go ahead and make a mold out of, and that wing is actually for the right hand drive Integra. It's not, this one is not for me, it's actually my little brother's. So he was actually gonna have his wrapped and overlaid in carbon fiber, and I said, I talked to the maker Albert, which is my guy that does all my stuff for me, C-Trends, and he ended up saying, you know what, let's just go ahead and make a mold out of it. It would benefit us just to have it. It'll make it easier, because wrapping a foam piece one is going to create issues later on. It could crack, it could warp because it is foam. So we said, F it, let's go ahead and make it, and we ended up making that, and I'll go ahead and show you guys at the end of the video once we're done. But as you guys seen in the last couple of clips, we ended up pretty much cutting some wires because I wanted to get the fuel level sending unit pretty much wired in place. I still have to loom it so that way it blends in and it looks good in the back of the trunk, just like all the other wiring does that we did for the dual pump relay setup and all that stuff. The low fuel light is actually away now, so you don't see that anymore. It just shows that it's a full tank. So I kind of got to address some stuff, but I'll show you guys that it's pretty much done, and I just got to either switch one of the wires or change it out to the different one, because there is 3 wires on this one and it only requires 2, which is basically your power and your ground, and 1 is for the light itself. So we're gonna go ahead and see which one it is and see if we can get it situated. But one thing I want to do today, so that we can pretty much end the video, is I really want to try to get the diff fluid filled back here. I don't think it's gonna hold all of the fluid. The main reason why is because this axle right here is actually missing the locking ring. That locking ring is missing, so I'm gonna order new ones, or I'm gonna see if I can find some from axles that I have over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can seal it up so that it will lock in and stay in place, because without that it actually moves around, and I don't want that to happen, and I don't want it to leak out. So let's go ahead and take off this drain plug. It is already loose because when we filled it up, or when we drained it out when I first got the diff. So I want to pretty much fill it up, and we're going to be using that diff, I guess you can say this tool from Harbor Freight, the pump. And I am going to be using this Honda dual pump fluid for the diff. This is what it's recommended in there. So we're going to go ahead and put 1 in there, at least 1.5, until it starts spilling out, because again, car's in an angle and I can't get from the top of it. Main reason why, and it's not S1's fault or any of that stuff, nobody really knew about these diffs. So where the placement of the fill port on top of it is actually right on top of the bracket where it mounts up on top to hold it in place. So I just kind of got to get in there and grind around, make a groove over it so that we can pull it off. But for now, we're going to go ahead and at least put some sort of fluid in there so it doesn't roll around just dry with no looby dooby in there, because I don't want these gears and any of this diff to get messed up. right guys, so this does take 2 quarts of fluid in the back of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep adding more. That was basically 3/4 of one of it and it started spilling out. But again, remember the car's at an angle, so I'm gonna keep it plugged as much as possible so that we can force fluid in there, and that way I'm gonna have to be quick at putting that plug back on so that we can tighten it and sit the car back down. As long as we have at least I would say 1.5 quarts in there, we should be golden. We shouldn't have any issues. So let's go ahead and just continue, because I still have, you know, half of this one and I still got 1/4 of the other one, so basically 3/4 of another one that I got to put in, and then we should be pretty much golden on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick and I'll go ahead and just finish it off at the end. Alrighty guys, so got about 1.25 quarts in there and it's tightened up now. So diff fluid is in there. I'm not sure if it's gonna leak through that ring because there is a little bit of play on it. I believe it's, yeah, it's this one here. So this one has a little bit of play on it. I just don't want it to pop out. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna see if I can get it to seal up a little bit more. I'm gonna order those rings or see if I can take off another axle and pop out this axle so we can get fluid in there also. I know I can put more in there. I'm gonna double check to see what it really needs. From what the advisor told me from Honda was that it took like a quart and 1/4, 1.5 quarts, give or take. So of course you got to buy 2 quarts to fill it up, but we should be good. This is what Brandon told me to go ahead and run, the dual pump fluid, so that's what we're running. So yeah, let me go ahead and drop the car and see if we have any leaks, and if we do, then I'm gonna leave this rag down here because I don't want it to leak all over my carpet, and I would rather have it absorb into something. I do have like this UPS P-pad, so that's what I call it. But yeah, fluid is in there, and let me go ahead and show you guys now the wiring that I did for the fuel level sending unit. Alright, so here's the 2 wires for the fuel level sending unit in. It's all the way in there, it's all complete, so we shouldn't have any issues. I am waiting for parts to come in so we can finish off this fill station, so that we can bring it up here and I can fill it up here, and that way it has a little bit of height going down, right? So it's easier to fill instead of having to remove that whole cap and stuff. And as far as the rear bracket, let me go to show you guys that real quick. Let me go ahead and open up this trunk, pull the thing tab, and then let me go ahead and pull it out again. We should have just opened the door from the beginning. So what I'm referring to down here is, you guys can see how that plug right there, where the bracket sits at, it basically covers it enough to where I can't even get the socket inside of it. So I kind of got to trim it, give it a little bit of a shape there, and I should be able to fill it up. So at least we have some fluid in there. And this is what I was talking about the gap. See the axle gap right there? I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can lock it in, because the other side is locked in, and it's just that ring that's missing on it. So after we'll do this also, but for now we should be good on that, and we should be able to hopefully get it on the dyno. But as I stated, wire is running underneath the seat, and it's wired up to the fuel level sending unit on the bottom. So either way I can still switch it around if I need to fix any of that. But as I stated, you know, the fuel level gauge, the light on low, the signal is gone, so we know that it's wired in. So I put power to the car. There's still a lot of cleaning I still got to do in the inside again, once again, so we can see that. But here you'll see that fuel pump turns on. There's no more fuel light there that was there before, so that's gone, and now we should have a reading of everything that goes on. But I got to figure that out right now, because that's new. It doesn't show anything on there. It actually does. You just can barely see it, and it shows that it's full, but in all honesty, this tank is not full. So I got to figure that out. I got to kind of adjust it, the ohms and all that stuff that's behind in the conversion, and get that all fixed up. I did end up contacting this guy also. He's supposed to send me the bracket so we can get this fixed, because this is just a lot really sloppy, and it's not what I want. So I might have to add some tape to it or something, but yeah, pretty much this is the way it's gonna be. And once he sends me those brackets, then we'll get these locked into place, and I'm gonna throw some tape on there or figure out how to make another bracket underneath to fix it, you know what I'm saying? Because of course I want this car to be perfect as possible, at least for myself. So there you guys go. So as I stated, I was running around in Mexico, you know, picking up parts, doing everything else. And one of the things that I ended up picking up, and this is actually from my little brother, this is actually a DB1 OEM style wing in carbon fiber. We are going to be offering these now for customers. They're a little bit expensive, but quality is still 8 to 9, and it's really good quality. We can still wrap it in different color carbon and all that for additional cost. They do have the bolts in it. We may have to do a little bit more tweaking on some stuff, but nothing really major as far as fitment wise. We're gonna go ahead and test fit this, make sure it fits perfectly fine and there's no issues to it. And this is carbon fiber, and yeah, I can't wait to get it on the car and actually test fit it to see what it looks like, because again, this is actually just molded off of the original one. And remember, the original one was never perfect. It was messed up, so we did it to the best. He did it to the best of his capability to be able to get this to where it wouldn't have any issues whatsoever. So hopefully it all goes well and we don't have any issues with fitment wise, because if not, we'll have to go back to the drawing board and readdress it. So yeah, if any of you guys are interested in a 90 through 93 Acura sedan only wing, hit me up and we'll get you guys taken care of. These are made to order, so always keep that in the back of your guys' heads. They do take a little while, so just let me know, and yeah, we'll get you guys taken care of. Well, pretty much guys, that is gonna wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, because it does help me out tremendously. As you guys seen, we're getting closer and closer every single video, and I'm really trying to get out here and hustle and get this car done so we can get it to the dyno. Our goal is 1 more week to hopefully get it to the dyno, and then from there we're gonna go ahead and address some other stuff such as interior pieces, but all that's gonna be taken care of with another homie that I'm trying to work out the deal with right now. So that includes headliners, sun visors, sunlight visors, whatever they're called, and sunshade visors, and also reupholstering these seats as far as the black side, the center piece, and the outsides of it. I do want to keep the blue inside of it because it does go with the car, and hopefully we can get all that taken care of here in the future, but deals will be worked out little by little. But hopefully, again guys, you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, once again, please like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, and let me know what you guys think of the progress so far and what you guys look forward to after this car is done. Do you guys want to see a different type of build? Let me know in the comments, and maybe we can make it happen. But with that being said guys, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Till next time.